What's up, guys? How's everybody doing? Can you guys message us in the chat if you can see our screen and everything set up appropriately and you can hear us? Awesome. Oh, what's up, Rob? San Batista? Autumn?
Love it.
Friendly faces? Rob, you should be on here for your new acquisition. All right, why don't we go ahead and kick things off? Steve, can you share my screen okay, awesome. Fantastic. Well, listen, guys, we're super excited to be doing this. For us, so much about building this business and continuing to scale this business is really working closely with the community, and owners, operators, VPs of finance, everybody at MSPs, to really build in the open and provide you guys the tooling, the experience, the operational support that we can provide you. And really what we'd love to cover in this presentation and this webinar is, where are we going and why did we even think to acquire Delmar Insights, and bring Danny on board. And so, we're super excited to cover a handful of topics. First and foremost, for those who don't know alternative payments, we are a leading payments platform, automation software platform in the MSP space. We're now over 65 employees. We process over $1 billion annually. We have over 1,000 MSP customers. We integrate with all leading PSA software and accounting software to streamline the invoice billing and payments workflow for you all. It's fundamentally a pretty easy business critical solution for you all in your businesses. And the way I'd really categorize our company is we're extremely focused on outcomes, right? So I always say this to a lot of our partners: if we can't deliver the outcomes that we say we can deliver, then you shouldn't use our product. And we hold ourselves accountable, through insights and through analytics to ensure that we're hitting those targets and reaching those outcomes for you and your companies. We get people paid a lot faster. So average time to pay in the industry is about 35, 40 days. We're getting people paid in an average of 5 days. We're migrating the majority of payments to auto pay, right? And so 62% of our payment volume is fully automated, which we're really excited about. And we're doing so in, I think, the best manner possible, right? So if you look at our net promoter score, if you look at our customer satisfaction scores, they're 3x probably what the average is in this industry. If you look at even our employee net promoter score, which we track internally to ensure that we're building the right culture for our team members, we're at about, I think it's 72 for employee net promoter score and 73 for net promoter score externally, which is best in class. And this kind of really leads to why we acquired Delmar and why we're building an analytics software tooling. Because what we want to ensure that we're providing you is insights to your business to how to run a more efficient enterprise. And so now I'll pass the baton a little bit to Danny to talk to you about what he's accomplished over the last several years and where he is, and why I think he was excited to partner with us and really where we're going as a combined unit and combined forces.
Thanks, Baxter. Yeah, I very much want to piggyback a little bit on what you were last mentioning, not just from a CSAT score, but also from just the internal culture component. For those that do or don't know me from my years in the industry, I spent a good bit of formative years at Datto, and ultimately that company was very much known for its culture. And the first thing I noticed just walking in the door is how and just incredibly welcoming and driven that this team at Alternative is. And it's one of the reasons why we're so excited to be a part of it. But yeah, again, as far as Delmar is concerned, and as you may see there, we founded it about 5 years ago, really with the goal of bringing enterprise level business intelligence to small and medium sized businesses in the MSP space. Realistically, some of the problems that we were trying to solve are around detailed client level profitability, operational efficiency, helping people understand the value of their business, and even providing some agnostic benchmarking, which I think our industry sorely needed. So, yeah, I mean, ultimately, I think the tie-in with alternative, just again, it makes perfect sense. At the end of the day, you're trusting them with your payments, you're trusting us with your data, and we just want to be able to use that information to provide better insights to you and your team members, so that your businesses can grow and flourish.
I think there are a couple different kind of key components, right? There's the operational component, right, and ticket profitability. There's the financial component, customer profitability, right? Both metrics, I think, today are very, very difficult for MSPs to hone in on, because obviously all this data lives between the PSA and lives between the accounting software. I think best-in-class tooling has done a pretty good job, similar to what Delmar Insights has been able to accomplish in terms of bringing some of those data components together to provide you a single pane of glass as an MSP owner. The third piece, which really differentiates the solution and where we're going, and one of the reasons why we're so excited about this deal, is the payment side, and the time to pay. Right. And so if you can pull, and what we're doing now, right, is we're pulling the financial lens, the operational lens with the payments component, you can holistically unify that customer experience, or that business experience. And so, at the end of the day, like, what's the point of this? The point is to really build a unified platform for financial and operational automation. And so on the left side of the screen, right, you have a lot of the components that alternative payments focuses and goes really, really deep on today. Invoice management, approval and distribution, right? How do those invoices get sent? What are the cadences? What's the customization functionality? Client payments, how do they want to pay? Do they want to pay via credit card? Do they want to pay via ACH? Do they want to schedule a payment? Do they want to do recurring payments, right? And fighting off some of the manual workflows. I just talked to a business yesterday. They do 70 million of revenue. They do 900 invoices a month, and they have one person who manages that entire process for their business. And a lot of their AR is over 60, 70 days outstanding. And the person is absolutely drowning in work. Like, it's a really arduous process, right? And the second part of this process, right, is the data analytics and reporting. And what's, I think, really, really cool about this, and one of the reasons why Danny and I even started the conversation, is we tried to build analytics, and we built an insights dashboard, which if you're a customer of alternative payments, you have access to, which is called Insights. It's on the left navigation bar. It's probably around the middle of the page. And what we realized pretty quickly is, sure, there's a lot of insights that we can provide. And we try to hold ourselves accountable in terms of what our results are for your business, right? So what percentage of your payments are via auto pay? What's your day sales outstanding by month over time? Because if we can look at that data and we can say, hey, Danny or Steve or, whichever customer we have, we've been really successful in bringing down these days sales outstanding. This is the impact that alternative payments is having. Taking this to the next level, we can kind of supercharge that, right? And combine that with Delmar Insights, which is much more detailed, much more thorough at many more kind of granular levels of data, whether it's, again, ticket profitability, technician level details. I mean, Danny, do you want to talk a little bit about some of the really detail oriented data snippets that people are getting today out of your software?
Yeah, I think your use case is a really good one. I mean, at the end of the day, that sales outstanding number, especially if you're talking about client specific, can be an indicator, right, in this larger sense of the health of the relationship with the client. But I think there's much more that goes into that, especially at an operational level. Like for example, I mean, the first thing that comes to mind is, are we priced correctly, right? Are we delivering the right services to this client? And what does that look like in terms of the burden on our team? And as you start to get some of these other components associated with that ongoing relationship in place, I mean, it starts to become a much bigger picture of, hey, does this person pay on time? Hey, is this client driving most of our support tickets where it's becoming a burden on the team? And then in turn, what does that look like long term? Do we want to encourage this relationship to build it and flourish it? Or do we need to potentially hit a reset and look at what the right options are in terms of meeting them from a support lens and at the same time ensuring that it's a profitable relationship for both sides?
Yeah, it's actually interesting what you just mentioned. And we talked a little bit about this, Danny, but we always think about, at least I've always historically thought about customer health scoring as a health of the customer from a payment and revenue contribution. There's also this interesting kind of customer scoring system that we can build, which is what is the ideal customer for your business, right? And the ideal customer for your business is actually a customer who pays on time, a customer who submits less tickets, right? Who needs less support from a day-to-day or week-to-week or month-to-month basis, with a contract that's also priced at a certain tier, a certain level. And so there's actually a pretty interesting I think analysis that we can showcase and build out that really evaluates your customers with those lens. That's a really, really unique lens as part of the kind of business ownership viewpoint, which just sparked my thought.
No, for sure. And that is very much directly in our line of sight right now for some of the things that we're trying to build out around not just your own business itself, which is really the core of Delmar, but also the health of each of those individual client relationships.
Yeah. And the other thing, Danny, maybe you want to talk a little bit about the opportunity of kind of sell-through and data and analytics from, an MSP's client base as well.
Yeah, we certainly can speak more to that. I think one of the things that we want to try to do, again, right now, where everything that we're doing offering wise is very curated towards the MSP. But as we start to be able to provide things like client health scores, it starts to become something that you can share in real time with your clients as potentially an additional service or as something that augments or supplements your QBRs with the client. And then further down the road, as we look to start to provide more customization directly at your fingertips, I think this is something that you then even further curate as a service directly to your clients.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, again, just to double click on this a little bit, what should you expect as a Delmar customer, as an alternative payments customer, in bringing this together? The truth of the matter is, nothing's going to change, right? We are changing the industry. We are not changing our relationships with our partners, with the community, and with our customers. Our goal in this acquisition is bringing together two market-leading companies to move the industry forward and provide you all the data and analytics and insight to more efficiently run your businesses and get the data and get the access that you need to make business decisions. Fundamentally with payments and with accounts receivable software tooling. And so, we already have analytics from an alternative payments perspective. Right now, what we're doing and working with Danny and his team on is redesigning the entire Delmar experience that we can then integrate into alternative payments to provide our customers with that next level type of value prop. And that next level granularity and detail as it relates to these different components around operational, financial, benchmarking data. We will also be providing this kind of holistic search functionality, right? So you as an MSP can have full search capabilities across all of this data, whether it's the accounts receivable and invoice and customer data, or whether it's the analytics, customer profitability, some of these other data component. And then we're also obviously building out additional product set within alternative payments like accounts payable. So I'm sure many of you, if you're an alternative payments customer or in our listserv and in our community, we will be releasing the beta version of accounts payable probably in January. We're going to be testing it out for ourselves and utilizing it for our own accounts payable at the beginning of December, and then releasing it in beta in January. I guess I'll pass Danny on the Delmar side. Anything to mention?
Yeah, and I just want to reiterate sort of something that you started with here. At the end of the day, like our focus is the outcomes for our clients, not necessarily for ourselves. And so in the early days of Baxter Lanius discussions, and front of mind is both of our sides, existing customer base and also those in the future who may want to work with us. So we're going to definitely remain extremely flexible from a product perspective, right? We want to make sure that we provide the solution that you need in the scenarios that you need them.
And so when we bring these things together, right, you ultimately have accounts receivable, you have accounts payable, and then you have this analytics layer. And we believe that fundamentally that's the future of payments. That's the future of business operations and analytics and financial expertise, to really give you the keys to your own kingdom to make better decisions. And so we're super excited about that core offering, which, basically by Q1 26 or maybe early Q2 of 26, should be fully out in market. Danny, do you want to take this side?
Yeah, we can certainly speak to this a little bit more. I mean, I think right here we start to get into not just what we're offering today, but what we really see the future of analytics to expanding into. For those that have had some conversations with us around budgeting, I mean, this is just a critical part of the evolution of most businesses, especially as you increase your maturity level. I mean, this is something that we're going to be providing significantly more line of sight into, as well as features and functionalities that make it actually feasible for small and medium-sized businesses who maybe don't have a full finance team to be able to start thinking about and executing on budgeting and forecast strategies. Outside of that, I mean, I think we're already starting identifying some items that are at our fingertips in terms of our initial AI approach here that will, again, just bring insights to your team faster and more intuitively. And we're hoping to deliver on that early doors so that you can get those insights quicker.
Yeah, that's awesome, right? And just think about, again, where your business is going and predictive analytics to really unpack where your business is going, either from a financial lens, an operational lens, a customer lens, can be super powerful. So listen, want to open it up for Q&A. We also have a wait list for analytics. So just so we're all on the same page, right? What we're trying to accomplish, and we'll launch a brief survey. You can access it via the QR code on the screen, or you can access it in the survey and the polls and quizzes that I'm sure popped up on your screen a second ago. But at the end of the day, what we want to do is we want to launch this right? We want to fully integrate analytics into alternative payments. We have no interest in being a software platform that has disparate assets, right? We want to provide you a unified platform experience. And we will start to roll out the analytics module to customers in a very structured manner to ensure that we can provide the best-in-class support, best-in-class onboarding, best-in-class product experience, to ensure that, we're rolling it out the right way. So, if you guys have any questions about anything, as we progress, I think there are a bunch of, feel free to ask questions and drop a question in the webinar chat. More than happy to answer it right now. You also have access to obviously product.alternativepayments.io, which obviously is our product feedback channel. So if there are different items that you'd like to share, or you want us to hit on from an analytics perspective, feel free to add an item within that website. Feel free to email myself or email Danny, or call us. Like, again, we're actively building this out. We want to make sure that we're hitting on all of the items that you guys want us to hit on. We want to make this an iterative process and really build a unique analytics product for the community and for the market that at the end of the day helps you and your team run a more effective business. Anything else, Danny, to mention?
No, I think you hit the nail on the head. I know in these types of scenarios, things are moving fast, especially for existing clients and folks that may be curious about where we're headed. So I would also just reiterate, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. We're here to answer your questions. And at the end of the day, it's your outcomes that we're looking to help you achieve.
Yeah, I couldn't have said it better myself. So listen, guys, thank you so much for joining. Really excited about this opportunity, really excited to build with you guys, really excited to provide the best in class product that we can provide you as we release it. Please share feedback. I know many of you are not hesitant to share feedback, which actually really makes our lives a lot easier. And we appreciate it tremendously. Look forward to continued partnership. And if we can help and support you and your businesses ever, don't hesitate to get in touch. So enjoy the rest of the day, and we will chat with you soon.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, guys.